What's up, everybody? Welcome back to How About That Crypto. Today I'm gonna do the news for you, and there's not really a lot of good stuff in the news, and we have had one positive thing happen. Actually, I should have reported to you last week. The GAAP standards, general accepted accounting principles, they have been updated, and now publicly traded companies can now hold crypto on their balance sheet, and it could be treated like property. Well, that's really interesting because before you could only hold crypto on your balance sheets and you could only write the value down. You couldn't write the value up. So your company might have had $1 million worth of Bitcoin, but you had already written it down because the price fell. So then now on paper, your Bitcoin is worth $1,000, but then the price went back up to 1 million, and now but you can't report that. So they've updated the rules. So now it's like a more accurate accounting of a business. But I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I just found this really unfortunate news here. This is another instance of how the US government and all of the fools that are running this country are just taking advantage of a chance to, I don't know, it's like maintain the status quo of everything. So check this out. It says that IRS proposed rule on digital asset broker reporting could kill crypto in America. The proposal creates unworkable requirements for decentralized finance in the US. This is an article on Coindesk by Sarah Milby. So it goes on and it talks about the Infrastructure and Jobs Act, and inside of there, they had a mandated the IRS rulemaking to create a statute, and finally, it's arrived. So the new proposed rule would require newly designated brokers to report sales and exchanges of digital assets. Although the rule would exclude stakers and miners, it says by expanding the definition of digital assets and brokers, the proposal would pull in people and projects who would not otherwise fall within the scope of these tax reporting obligations. These new brokers would be required to collect information such as their name, address, and tax ID or social security number. So I think that it's really important. And when you're thinking about how the government is behaving and how they're performing, there's a lot of, this administration is not very friendly, and their regulators and the people inside the government that are listening to the administration are creating rules and basically icing out and boxing out crypto. So the longer that this goes on and the longer that rates stay up and inflation stays up and we're in a risk-off environment, the more damage can be done to crypto. My belief is that we need to have an economic situation where people are willing to take risk again. And I don't think that that's going to happen until we see a recession. We see unemployment go up, we shake some things out, and then the rates are starting to have to cut. Money gets cheaper and starts flowing a little easier. And then I could see risky assets start moving upwards, which is crypto. Crypto is a very risky asset. Most people don't want to hold it. And think about it. Why would you hold on to crypto in an environment where you could earn a good return on your money just by parking it in treasury assets? Unless you believe that the US dollar is on its way to collapse in a short period of time, then it would make sense to hold your money in a interest-bearing space as opposed to a volatile asset that you don't know where it's going to be in a day or two, and it's not necessarily generating a very good yield. You get a better yield on your money than by putting it in treasury bonds than you do by staking in Ethereum. And guess what? The value of the dollar, the inflation, the purchasing power of the dollar does not fluctuate anywhere near the US dollar. So of Ethereum. Ethereum fluctuates way more than the dollar. So my point is that, more and more rules like this happen, then we should be concerned. Now, that's most of the news that I think is important. There is one other piece of news that I'll pull up for you, but Coinbase, and talking about having their own token. So this just came out recently where Coinbase has come out and said that they may issue a token for Base, one of their chief legal officers. So here you go. Here's a crypto briefing article by Diego Almada Lopez called Coinbase may issue a token for Base exec. Hence. Okay, so Coinbase chief legal officer Paul Grewal, geez, that's a mouthful, said the crypto exchange hasn't entirely ruled out issuing a token for Base, its Ethereum layer 2 chain. It's not something we've ruled out entirely, and I think a token could be viable at some point in the future. Don't forget, they're under a lot of scrutiny, so they will not be doing anything crazy. And creating a token would be kind of crazy right now. So as soon as we get some regulatory clarity, then I believe that you could see Coinbase issuing a token. And a lot of people are saying you should be using Base right now because early adopters of Base will get airdropped some of their tokens. And I did also just see something on here. It says First Mover Americas Coinbase registers with Central Bank of Spain. The latest price moves in crypto markets and context for September 26. All right, so it says top story. Coinbase is registered with Spain's central bank to provide exchange and custody services. Registration with the Bank of Spain is a mandatory step toward offering crypto-related services, and registered firms have to comply with the country's anti-money laundering standards. While the country does not yet have a licensing regime for crypto firms, Spain will be required to implement one under European Union's recently finalized MiCA. So that's the news. Of course, you got Sam Bankman-Fried has renewed a request to get out of jail again. That guy it sucks to be him. Let's just put it that way. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is good news that I've reported? I'm a little concerned that until we get some sort of clarity in the rulemaking, we do have congressional members marking up crypto legislation, but like Maxine Waters says, they're marking up legislation that is not bipartisan, which means that it's just virtue signaling. So don't get very excited about the Republicans saying that they're going to pass a rule and pass any crypto legislation, because at the end of the day, it won't get through the Senate. So, and even if it gets through the House, even though the Republicans seem to be kind of divided, even if it gets through the House, it definitely won't get to the Senate, but it most likely won't even get to the House because they're just using their majority to go around and say that they're working on crypto legislation, but it's a bunch of BS. All right, that's the news. Have a good day. And don't forget, this is not financial advice. All right, do your own research. Hold on.